What is going on, brothers and sisters? Today, we're going to talk about Icarus and the new content update that just came out and why I believe that this is only going to hurt the game in the long run, as well as alienating the new player base, which is what this DLC really should have been doing to bring in not only the old players that had come to the game at Icarus at the launch, because it was super hyped up, but also to bring in new people and why I think it's not going to work. So, here is the breakdown. Obviously, these are my opinions too. We used to play a lot of Icarus, and I'm going to come back to play Icarus only because I want to see success for one, and two, just so you all can see it too, because I don't believe a lot of people are going to buy this DLC because of the price. So speaking of that, let's talk about the price of the game. So right now, Icarus, you can get the bundle for like 40. Well, that's my price because I already own the games. Or as a gift, I suppose. So it's on sale for 30% off for 44 bucks. However, base game without a sale, $35, okay? New Frontiers without a sale, $30, okay? So if we're talking non-sale prices, that is $65 for the base game and the new DLC that came out, which adds a map and like I think a little bit over a dozen missions. And it's pretty much adding in to the game what we all expected at the launch, which was an alien world. What did we expect at the launch and why did we expect it? Let's talk about it. So this is just from the Icarus YouTube channel here. This was the original teaser that blew everyone's mind and thought we were going to get a super great alien survival game. And really set our expectations and disappointment for when we received a very Earth-like survival game. So just kind of skipping in, starts off nice and light. You land. You got your boys. You got some trees falling for no reason. Trees don't fall for no reason in this game except for weather. Look at that thing. That doesn't exist. Remember, this is 3 years ago. This was before the game launched. That doesn't exist. There's no alien tech in the forest, Building, fantastic. Obviously, I love the building of this game. Monkey Puzzle makes some great stuff. That doesn't exist in the game. Let me show you that right there. Bam. That doesn't exist. Actually, I think it's in the new DLC. But remember, 3 years ago, this doesn't exist in Olympus or Styx. Sitting with your buddies, eating a hunk of meat. This thing, not how it looks when you extract exotics. We'll see that in the actual teaser trailer that came out to talk about the release date. Look at this Humvee, absolutely beautiful. Don't exist. Never did, never will. I think they've stated they don't have any intention to try and put them in the game because there's so many bugs with it. And then you leave the planet. And we were like, oh my God, it's gonna be amazing. And you know what? It felt amazing when you first started playing, that's for sure, during the demo weeks and everything. And then for the actual launch date trailer, we got another little tidbit here. We landed. Now we're actually starting to see what the in-game world really looks like. You got some tundras in the background, a forest. Beautiful asset wolf there. This is the Riverlands that you go into. The Anaris bow, it looks like. Great little building skit here. Loved seeing it, of course. Some decorations, chairs you still can't sit in. Weather events happening here, which then broke down to show us the degradation of buildings and how weather can affect them, as well as getting struck by lightning, burning down, and just completely getting trashed. This is the forest. We're in the tundra. We see clothes. We see special building being done. I don't know what that rock was right here. I don't know what this is all about. What is that? A polar bear? Like, it's amazing how different the launch day trailer was compared to the teaser trailer. Nothing alien. Here's the desert. Nice little thatch hut for the desert in there. That would never hold up when the weather. Forest, the grizzly bear. So we've seen a polar bear, a grizzly bear, a wolf. Quite Earth-like. That's actually, let me go back here. This is actually what the digger looked like. So this is probably an in-game picture here. This is how you mined exotics when you first got it. Here is how they showed it in the teaser. Definitely didn't have any of those animations. It just plops down. So, really exaggerated. Super good looking game though. That's always been the case, right? But it's basically been an asset flip. And I've always said that since day one. You know, it's just assets everywhere. Pre-order now. Actually, and then it launched in like December of 21 anyways. But then we had like demo weeks leading up to it. Then we had the new Frontier stuff. But talk about the assets, you know, the Rocketworks told us they are going to give us weekly updates. In-depth game updates to change the world. Which I found odd because, you know, for a fully released game, it seems odd to have weekly updates. Why not spend like a solid month on the updates, work out the kinks? Well, they should have. You know, we had broken updates that would break the game and make you lose all your progress. Characters could get lost completely and you have to put in tickets to try and get them back. Sometimes they couldn't. I know what happened to me multiple times is I'd lose my entire inventory warehouse. I'd lose all my Renin exotics. Which ultimately finally just led to saying I'm done grinding this game because why bother? It plays like an early access game, right? So, you know, lots of problems in the weekly updates where weekly update would hit. Some of the stuff didn't even work because they didn't test it because they stopped the testing phase, or even when they did do the testing phase, they didn't listen to feedback and still pushed everything through with the same errors all the testers saw. But now, with the new Frontier coming out, we're actually getting
Prometheus, where it all fell apart.
We actually get the alien world we were told we were gonna have. So obviously, if you bought the Founders Edition of this game, it doesn't apply to you, right? Because I believe this was included in the Founders Edition. I honestly don't remember. I believe it was. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it should have been included because I believe all the DLCs were. But like, look at this. You know, we got a swamp thing here. Now, mind you, I haven't even really played in here. Some red area. I don't know if that's just like colored or what, but swampy. Now, I haven't even gotten in this far into it. Nice looking spear there. Something creeping in the dark over there. What was that? Look at that thing. Little bug there. Little porcupine thingy. Some sky drakes. Huge trees. Like, this is what we wanted and what we expected. Look at that. Oh, little Komodo there. Ew. That thing's gross looking. Where was that thing? Like, look at that. Ew. Gross. It's like Dobby creeping up on me. This is, look at that little cute little armadillo thingies. New exotics. Look at that. Oh, that was cute. Hold on. Look at that thing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Like, this is what people wanted at the start. It's what people expected. We thought we were getting aliens, not Earth with deer and wolves and bunnies and a grizzly bear. And then later they added cave worms. Like, what? Why? And that was actually because we were talking about that on Friday. That was because people were living in caves and they were like, we need a deterrent from people living in caves. So they put in worms, which was like the only alien creature in the game, and it was silly because it made no sense in any of the biomes. And then they brought the worms to the desert like it was dunes. Put a giant sandworm out there, like, what? And then other asset flips that came in later were like the Komodo dragon living out in like the Riverlands, like with, and then crocodiles that lived in like a forest, like not a caiman, a crocodile or something. It was crazy. And they were just direct asset rips. The leopards that finally came in, the panthers, it was all assets because they didn't have time to build the game. And I believe the game made like, I don't know, I read something that estimated like 1 million plus sales in the first month. I'm not sure if I believe that. Maybe. I mean, when the game first launched, there was a 50,000 top peak players. So maybe there was 1 million sales. And if so, that means it was like roughly a $30 million revenue generating game in the start.
That's where you come in.
New building stuff, some new materials. That was neat. Look at that freaking spider. Reminds me of that stupid scorpion boss they brought in. Again, total earth creature. But I did love the fight because we cheesed it with with the hedges, the little defense things, the little porcupine defense things. It was super funny. Really cool. Like, this is what we wanted. But now to get that, you have to pay $65 as a new player. Or if you didn't buy the Founders Pack, you're going to pay roughly $65 anyways, or maybe $55 because you had bought the game when it was $25. They did a price hike up to $35 because, you know, because it was a fully released game at 25, but then they did a price hike because, you know, it was better now. So they're like, we added more content. Now it's more money. Whatever, sure, chill out. Crappy DLCs that came in for Outposts that are completely unloved by the developers. Nobody plays them because they finally added open world into the game, which made everything better, of course. We needed open world, but the downside to open world... Let me hit play here. I did start a new character. You know, the downside to open world is that for open world, and you can see here, right? In Olympus and Styx, which are the first two maps. So Styx actually does cost you money now, too. So I think it's like $75 for the game, right? Because I think Styx you have to pay another $10 for, perhaps. Styx map and missions pack, $10. Yeah. So I actually, as a new player with no sales, because I always gauge my prices on sales and not finding keys online, of course, $75. You know what was $70? Diablo 4. Other high-end AAA games. This is not a AAA game. It's absolutely embarrassing that they're charging $75 to try and bring new people to this game. Like, oh, it's abysmal. Like, how many people are going to do that? And the thing that gets people is when they wanted open world because they didn't want to do missions. 62 Olympus missions where every time you start, it restarts from the beginning. So you got to start from tier 1, work your way up. Again, new character here. But, you know, when you get through these, you know, some of these super quick, like tier 1 tech required. It gives you 15 real life days to complete this. If you don't, your character dies. Going through like this one here, tier 3. Some of these can take like, you know, an hour or two, maybe even just kind of cruising through. But some of them could take like a casual player, like 10 to 20 hours of gameplay because they may not know the tech or they just are kind of having fun, of course, because it's a game. And it's going to take them forever to finish all these missions in individual playthroughs from scratch. It's absurd. And most casual players will not have the time to do that. It's a lot. So open world was the answer, and the devs did great. They brought open world in. The downside was they didn't bring it in with the missions. So you can see if I go back, open world, there's only sample missions here, which are just like, they're like fetch quests. It's like when you're playing WoW and you're doing your dailies, right? They mean nothing. They're fluffy and cute. You need to go and still do missions if you want your Renin exotics. Open world doesn't have exotics that spawn in for you still. So it's completely moot. And that's the same for open world on Styx. Now, Prometheus is different. Even though it says no missions on Prometheus for open world, there is missions for Prometheus open world. I'm on a map for that on a different character. So Prometheus, it says no, outpost, like, you know, open world does have it. So this is wrong. But what is this one? The operations. So you can do Prometheus missions. Let me swap to the other character where we're kind of testing them out here. I always forget how to do this because it's been so long since I played this game. Go to ShabbyDoo. And that's that one there. I wonder if I can just see it from missions. Yeah, it says I've done 3 out of 14 missions on Prometheus, but it's because I'm in an open world of Prometheus. So for one, this data display is wrong. There is no exotics in it in open world, which is still a disaster. Like, that's, you need exotics. So people still have to go and do that garbage they don't want to do to play the game and enjoy it. But there are missions, so that's wrong. And I can see that from here. Just, no, don't show again. I don't want to boost. So I've done these 3, 1, 2, I don't even see the other third one. This one, third mission right there. So you can see like these missions, obviously there's only 14 of them. So again, you're getting a new map and 14 missions and some other new stuff, obviously, that involved in that of materials, craftables, weapons, buildings, the alien monsters we've all wanted this entire time for $35, 14 missions. Base game has 62, $10 for another map, which actually barely introduced new creatures and sticks. and it was just a new map basically that was horribly attritioned when it first came out, and now we've got Prometheus for another $35. Or no, was it 35? I'm all over now. Steam Prometheus, was it 25? It's $30. Sorry, $30 for New Frontier. $30 for 14 missions and a new world. So it's super expensive. That is AAA quality, and it's finally where it should be for this game. This is how it should have launched. Now, the downside is they are, or I should say the upside, they're still working on open world for Olympus and for Styx. Part of the newer updates they want to do is incorporate the missions into the open world, which will be huge. They need to do that to make current players play the game longer and continue and maybe come back. Maybe that'll bring new players in, and when they beat all freaking 62 missions in Olympus, maybe they'll then chalk up the $10 for Styx. And then when they see the $30 price on Olympus or Prometheus, they might go, I might wait for a 66% sale off and pick it up for 10. Or maybe they're going to go try and find keys online because they don't want to pay that, which I don't blame them. I never promote keys, but it's like I understand when people search them out when shit's that expensive, and unrightly so. But that's kind of my take on it. Do I think it's worth it to buy this game? No, not right now. Maybe if the entire thing was 60% off, or it was like you buy the base game, you get everything with it for free again. Like they do some big deal for like $35 or $40, whatever, and you get Styx, you get Prometheus, and that's it. You know, you get all the maps, you get all the missions. Then, yeah, maybe it will be. I'll have a better answer for you as we play through this. I'm going to start a fresh wipe character. I never imported my character because the game was not worth my time anymore. But I'm going to go back, and if you're all interested in it, we're going to go play every mission on Olympus. We're going to go play every mission on Styx. We're going to play every mission on Prometheus. And see if this game's really worth your $75. Right now, no. Don't buy this for $75. I'm sorry. That's a crime. That price is reserved for amazing quality games. Do I think this could get there? Amazing quality, yes. $75? Never. Like that's crazy. And I honestly wouldn't have even had this DLC if it wasn't gifted to me. You know, just to be clear, I myself would not have spent the $30 on this game. I can't. If I can't justify it to myself, there's no way I could justify it to you all either. But that's kind of my hot take on this, with all their asset flips from Olympus and Styx to now finally getting some maybe meaty content in Prometheus, and where I believe the game should have been. $40 for the bundle is still high, but I think potentially appropriate after they bring the game down to where it belongs, with fully open world access for people to do these missions without having to start from the beginning again and actually enjoy the world and build and live and thrive in your survival game. So I know this was kind of long, but I hope you all enjoyed this. If you found it useful, hit that like button down below. Make sure to subscribe as well, because like I said, we're gonna play through, and it'll be fully solo. I know previously we've done a solo series. We've done stuff with Mr. Twigs. Here's Shabby solo. I've already started him. After this video today, there will be another episode for my first mission in Olympus. I might jump around a little bit as I level my character up, get ourselves into Prometheus, and we're going to go through maybe trying 100% the achievements if this is something you're all interested in watching, and making sure there's enough content out there for everybody to really gauge for yourselves if you want to buy this game. There's nothing worse than seeing top level streamers playing a game and then getting sucked into a $75 price tag and hating it because you didn't get to see more of it later. You know, the game developers do a great job of marketing by getting a lot of top level streamers to play, and it does deserve that attention. But for $75, it's fucking crazy. It is out of this world bonkers. This is not Diablo. These aren't Call of Duty level titles. This isn't like a Cyberpunk or The Witcher, all the other, you know, popular games that come out for console, AAA. This is not it. And this is more expensive than most of them for 3 maps. So I'm excited to see what's going to come for this game. I think eventually will it get great? I hope so. This is a game I really want to be awesome. And I think with time it'll get there. They need to bring that price tag down. It's aggressive, it's scary, and it is not accommodating to your average gamer, as well as the time it takes to put into this game to enjoy it thoroughly. But that's my rant there, my brothers and sisters. Like I said, if you're enjoying it, smash that like button down below. I really appreciate it. Leave me your comments as well. Let me know your opinion on this game and how I'm being overly critical, underly critical. I appreciate all sorts of feedback, and just double check to make sure you're subscribed, because we're going to be playing this and other great, amazing survival crafting games, or just other cute games with crafting in them, because all I like to do is craft. But all right, brothers and sisters, as usual, until next time, I hope the rest of your day is not too shabby.